Hello everyone, I am BeBetterGamer. Welcome to BeBetterGamer Wrestling, your place for Let's Plays of WWF No Mercy, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, and WCW NW Revenge. And this is my 500 subscriber celebration video, and what better way than to do a Let's Play with my very own WWF No Mercy CAW. That is BeBetterGamer. He is a light heavyweight, or a junior heavyweight, or a cruiserweight, whatever you want to call him. He stands at 5'7", 175 pounds, and he is gonna be the subject of my 500 subscriber celebration video. Like, this is so amazing. I can't thank everyone enough for clicking that like button. Well, not like button, but the subscribe button, but also the people who click the likes on the videos. I love you too. Even if you don't subscribe, I still love you. And here I go. Here's BeBetterGamer coming out. You know, give him the fire. I gave him the original music, that original music, because I knew it gets the pyro. And you know, he's a big star. He's a big superstar coming over from Japan. You know, he wrestled in the Indies for a bit. He had a WWE tryout when he was very young. Had a developmental contract, but that never really got off the ground because, you know, he was seen as a smaller guy. So he asked for his release. Bounced around in the Indies a little bit. Went to Japan. Became a stud in Japan. Wrestled in the Best of the Super Junior tournament several times. Came close to winning it. Never won it, but that catapulted him. His success in the tournaments. Would win the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship a couple of times. And then he decided to throw down the gauntlet and be the first ever IWGP champion to be 5'7", and he invented some major Japanese wrestling pay-per-views, and that's what brought him back to the States. He had a breakout year, top 10 PWI. He was listed in there, and he re-signed with WWE. Now a seasoned veteran all over the world, and now he's back, and he's in the light heavyweight division, starting from the top, because his goal is to prove that just because he's a light heavyweight doesn't mean he can't start from the bottom and work all the way to the top. So that's what he's gonna do. He's all about showboating to the crowd. He's all about flashy, you know, taunts and, you know, playing up to the crowd. And he's got a lot of charisma, but he's also about a lot of flashy, high, you know, aerial moves. He's got that roaring elbow, or rolling elbow is what it's really called, that you just saw. Here you go, tornado DDT on Eddie Guerrero. Him and Eddie Guerrero, they fought many times before. They have a history together. And yeah, that's BeBetterGamer, man. I hope you enjoy my call. So, like, I'm gonna talk about a lot of cool stuff in this episode. Once again, 500 subscribers. Boom, Emerald Flosion coming up. That's my little tribute to my Japanese roots. It was never his finisher in Japan, but coming into the States, he decided to adopt it just because he knew he was going to be facing some bigger opponents. So he thought the Emerald Flosion would be good for him to show his strength as being a 5'7" guy. And because, you know, if you're 5'7", and you're strong, you still should be able to give an Emerald Flosion to a guy who's like 6'5". You know what I mean? So in this video, I'm going to talk about my created wrestler, but I'm also going to talk about, I've reached 500 subscribers. Like, this is nuts. This is crazy. This is a huge deal for me. Hopefully this is just the beginning of many. And again, I want to thank everyone who's been watching me since day one. A lot of my commenters, a lot of the people who, you know, post on my videos and retweet me on Twitter, a lot of them have been here since the beginning. I've been doing this channel since September of 2014. I uploaded my first video on September 6, 2014, about a year and 9 months ago. And it's been a very interesting journey. You know, I do want to say, as you know, I love that I've reached 500. It's a little bit bittersweet because I know that throughout this whole time when I've been trying to upload videos and stick to a schedule and really work on this channel, I've had to really look into myself as who I am as a person and what I want out of my life creatively, which is why I turned to YouTube, because I felt like I needed a new creative outlet to keep me going, because I grew up, you know, as an artist. You know, I went to school for acting, and I always felt like I was a really strong writer, and I've always had this passion for wrestling and video games, which I always viewed as two very creative, things to enjoy. I mean, I've always loved movies and theater and stuff like that. So I've always felt like I've been a creative person, and always felt like that my journey in life would end up leading me somewhere to do something creatively, and that I can earn a living off of. And, like they say, you don't choose your path in life, you just walk it. So I'm definitely doing that with this channel. I'm definitely walking it, and to get where I am now with it, reaching 500 has definitely shined a new light on this channel for me. So I'm going to talk a lot about that. I'm going to talk about the struggles I've had with this channel, the joys I've had with this channel, and I also want to mention the beginning of the video, and I'll talk about it again at the end, but going forward, the reason why I chose to do BeBetterGamer, the created wrestler, as my 500 subscriber video is because going forward, I want to start accepting calls from my subscribers, the people who have helped me got here, the people who will help keep growing my channel, going forward, as they discover my channel, as it grows, hopefully, and grows and grows and grows. I want to do something where, and I will post a video with all the details on this soon. I'm working on the video to post it. It's going to be my introduction video for my channel, because I figured, I got 500 subscribers. I might as well make an introduction video, Yeah, I might as well put in some effort into this channel if it's going to grow. I want to make it look nice. And I want to receive submissions from my subscribers after every 50 subscriber milestone. I want to do a short match. I'm not gonna do a full let's play because they take a while. But I want to create someone's wrestler that they've sent to me, and then I'll do a match where I'll play as their creation, and I'll have them face BeBetterGamer. I'll have them face my creation. So don't worry. You can ask me questions about it at a later time. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna post a video about that shortly, within the next couple of days, hopefully after I upload this video. And yeah, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great way to build up my channel. And yeah, let's talk about how I got here. Let's talk about how I got here to 500 subscribers. Like I said, September 6, 2014, I uploaded my first video. So I had been thinking about doing a YouTube channel for a while before that. Maybe even a year earlier than that. You can probably even find some videos that I've posted, not under the BeBetterGamer name, but under other accounts, where I was running emulators on my Mac and recording them with Quicktime and just posting, playthroughs. I think the first thing I ever posted was like an Ultimate Dragon WCW NW Revenge Cruiserweight run, because of course, Ultimate Dragon. And I was thinking about it. I knew getting a capture card was fairly expensive for me. It was definitely close to like $200 at that time. Now they've gotten a little bit more inexpensive, but at the time it was around 200, a little bit over. And I was like, man, should I do this? Should I make the plunge? Because I always thought, I've been playing video games my whole life. Okay, I turned 30 in July, and I've been playing video games my whole life. Look at that Dragon Rana, by the way. I should say I love the Dragon Rana. I tried to put moves on my wrestler that not a lot of other guys in No Mercy use, so that he seems fresh and new and different. Because he is fresh and new and different, and he's what WWE needs, or WWF. So you're gonna see me do a lot of moves. Really, you're gonna see me do a lot of moves that I took basically from all the Japanese wrestlers I admire. So I'm basically creating a Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 character and putting him in WWF No Mercy, because that's, I wanted to create a character that was sort of realistic. I didn't want him to do any, he's not going to be running around doing power bombs and stuff like that. Like, he's 5'7", you know what I mean? Like, not saying that 5'7" people can't do power bombs, but if I'm going to be doing matches with The Rock and Austin and, Big Show and all these guys, I want to make those matches interesting with BeBetterGamer and make them seem realistic, and play it in a way that would seem realistic in terms of like when you would watch someone of his size face a bigger guy in the WWE. So I tried to, and also like kind of envision what kind of style I would want if I was a wrestler. As a kid growing up, I always had lofty dreams of one day becoming a wrestler, but again, that wasn't the path I was meant to walk down. So you're going to see a lot of moves from Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, and a lot of throwbacks to WCW NW Revenge. There, and there you go, the rolling elbow again, throwback to Masawa. So, and I'm gonna try to do as many high flying maneuvers as I can in this move because he is a light heavyweight. I want to make it a little bit flashy, a little bit entertaining. So let me get back to the origin story of. So I got the capture card because I always felt like if I was born now, and I was a teen in the golden years of Twitch and YouTube, I would already have a YouTube channel with billions of subscribers. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of an egotistical thing to say, but I've been doing this my whole life. I've been playing video games my whole life. All my life, people who have known me, they know I'm like the person to talk to about games. They know I'm the person to talk to about wrestling. I get very passionate about it. I get very animated about it when I talk about it. And I look at everything, I feel like, in a very positive way, which is why I chose the moniker BeBetterGamer. But I wasn't born in the era of YouTube. I wasn't born in the era of Twitch. When No Mercy came out, there was no YouTube. So if YouTube did come out and I did have a capture card when I was young, you better believe all my championship paths would have been done by now. It would have taken me almost more than a year and a half to just get through 3 of them. Totally different story now when I'm close to 30 and I have 2 kids and I'm married and I got a full-time job. If YouTube was out and when No Mercy was around and I had nothing to do but just play No Mercy and post videos all day, oh man, I would have everything would be done in this channel. But whatever. I didn't want to let that mentality stop me. I didn't want to let that hold me back, like, oh, I can't do it now. I'm too old. I'm the old guy in the room playing video games and streaming it or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. No one else is doing it. There's like maybe 1 or 2 people posting videos, but they're not doing it in the way that I feel like I could do it. I feel like I have something different to offer. I feel like I view these games in a different way than what I'm seeing being posted. There's a really cool mod scene, a lot of emulator stuff going on, but like I want to not just No Mercy, I want to talk about Revenge, I want to talk about Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, I want to talk about all the Aki games, the games that I spent thousands of hours playing when I was young. So I got that capture card, I made the job, I considered it an investment. I'm going to buy this capture card and I'm going to use it every day. I'm going to post videos every day and it's going to be great. And that's when I realized, when I bought the capture card, like, man, I am learning so much new things right now. I am learning what kind of capture card should I get? What programs do I use? How do I do this? How do I do that? A lot of this stuff was, kind of unknown to me. But I bought the capture card and I started small. I started just recording WCW playthroughs. I was like, let me just start out small, sort of test the card and stuff like that, test the setup. So I just started recording some WCW NW Revenge playthroughs. I started with D. Malenko, ironically enough. I started with D. Malenko, did a WCW NW Revenge Cruiserweight Championship playthrough. Again, starting with the Cruiserweights, my favorites, the Junior Heavyweights, the Light Heavyweights, D. Malenko. And I just started uploading revenge videos. I always wanted to make my channel, the end goal, to make this channel not only just do Let's Plays and have it be entertaining and have it be a great forum to discuss these games and wrestling, but also as a resource for these games, because there's not a lot of resourceful information still around for these games. They're kind of hard to find, and I wanted to bring that back because it was abundant back in the day when it came out, even though the internet was kind of in its infancy. But nowadays, when the internet is so huge and massive and you can find all these wikis and everything, like, there's not a lot of information about these games out. There's very little, or little in comparison to what I think there should be. I mean, I had to go on Giant Bomb and edit the whole Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 page because there was nothing on it. And I still have to edit all the other Aki games because they're pretty barren. So I wanted this to be a resource, so I was putting the unlock videos of all the characters. I had a cartridge of WCW NW Revenge that I rebought because at one time I had to sell pretty much my whole game collection. That's the dark times. I'll talk about that in another video. But I had to rebuy these games and I resetted them so that I could record these videos, and I went through all the championships. And in that month, I uploaded 27 videos, which is probably the most the most productive I ever was that first month, because I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm just upload videos all the time. But I was just uploading gameplay. So there was no Let's Plays. I didn't even think about. I told myself, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna take it slow, step by step, because I have a lot of learning to do, and I have to grow organically. I can't just try to right away start doing thumbnails and editing and, you know, all this stuff, and recording myself. You know, I want to take it step by step, because I got to learn how to do all these things, so that if I do them, I do them well. You know, all these things were unknown to me, so I knew they weren't going to be good. And, you know, I feel like I've gotten better about it, but I feel like you know, one of the things that always would hold me back for a long time in my life was, I always felt like I was kind of a perfectionist. And it wasn't warranted, because, you know, I was never really perfect in anything. But, you know, you have that thing where if you feel like something's not good enough, you won't show it to anyone. And I didn't want that to be my videos. I didn't want that to be my channel. So I was like, screw it. If they're sloppy, they're sloppy. I'll just put them up. I gotta break that. I gotta break that habit and stop worrying about every little detail. It's never gonna be perfect anyway, so whatever. So I struggled with that very much in the beginning. I did all those videos, and then in October and November, I only uploaded 7 videos. But I also could probably chalk that up to, it gets kind of busy in my life when it starts getting into the fall and the holidays. Because again, I got kids, got a wife. You know, it starts getting really busy, and in a good way. And on but the end of the year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start fresh. I think I'm ready to make the plunge. And on December 31st, 2014, I uploaded my very first WWF No Mercy Let's Play. And it was the Light Heavyweight Championship. And it was with S.A. Rios, because why not? I love S.A. Rios. And it was the first time I uploaded No Mercy content on the channel, because everything before that was revenge videos. I used my Rock Band USB mic that I would use for my Rock Band games to record my audio, because it was the only USB mic I had. The audio was really bad on the video because I had no idea what I was doing. So when I was trying to edit it in iMovie, I had never edited audio before. A lot of the tutorials I was using wasn't helping me, and I was just kind of in a rush, because I think I remember recording the video, and I think I remember sitting on it for like 2 weeks and not uploading it. And I was like, I gotta upload this video. And, you know, I think that's why I waited to the end of the year. But I uploaded it. So if you watch my S.A. Rios video, I'm sorry, the audio is really terrible. It's gotten a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still working on the audio part. But my setup now, I got a Snowball mic, I got a pop filter, and I actually kind of know what I'm doing in iMovie when it comes to the editing of the audio. But I could always, as you know, my name applies, I could always be better about it. But anyway, from January to March, I was uploading No Mercy Let's Plays, and in those 3 months, I did 16 videos. I basically did all the light heavyweight and European championships. Remember that, guys and gals. 16 videos in 2 months, and I knocked out all the No Mercy Let's Plays. For my Intercontinental Championship Let's Play fans, you know what I'm gonna get to. I didn't have a schedule. I just recorded and uploaded whenever I could, and then since I felt like I was in such a good groove, though, I was putting out videos whenever I could, and I was working on my channel. I decided, you know what, let's jump right into Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, because originally I was gonna wait. I was gonna go through game by game, right? Good thing I didn't do that, right? But I was gonna go game by game. I was gonna do all the No Mercy stuff, and then move on to Revenge, and then move on to Virtual Pro Wrestling. But I couldn't wait. I wanted to put stuff out for Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. I wanted to put stuff out for WCW and NW Revenge. So I put out my very first Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 Let's Play, which was basically an introduction to Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, where I was going over a lot of the things about that game and why it was different. It's one of my favorite videos, so if you haven't watched that video, please watch it, especially if you're not familiar with Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. I really love that game, and I really feel like my passion for that game comes out, and I still have so many more ideas for Virtual Pro Wrestling, you know, tutorial videos and information videos that I want to do that I haven't gotten around to yet. A week later, I would upload my first WCW NW Revenge Let's Play, and, you know, a few days after that, I would do my first non-championship Let's Play path, because another direction I knew I wanted to eventually take my channels. I wanted to talk about, you know, current events of wrestling, or go over some classic moments of wrestling through these games. So I talked about the Hall of Fame class and Rikishi, and I moved my stables around where I talked about it. It's a very boring video visually, but it's kind of like a podcast, you know what I mean? Like a video podcast. And I went into a lot of detail about my feelings about Chris Benoit because he was one of my favorite wrestlers and the whole tragedy with his wife and his son. And it was a really deep episode. So that's another one of my favorite episodes because it was a very personal episode for me, in the way of, you know, me expressing who I was as a fan of wrestling and what I felt about that story, and you know how much it affected me. And I feel like how much it affected a lot of other people, not just the people who were close to Benoit and friends and family and the wrestlers he traveled with, but also fans, you know, like you listening to this. You're obviously a fan of wrestling if you stumbled upon a WWF No Mercy Let's Play where I'm playing as a created wrestler and I'm talking about wrestling. Like, you have to be a fan, right? You know, otherwise I don't know what you're doing here, but thank you for coming. I hope you're still listening after this. Anyway, you know, and then later on there was a sale for the Xbox on the Xbox 360 for WWE 2K15. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I do 2K15 videos and talk about, you know, current events with that? I only ended up doing two 2K15 videos, so it didn't really plan out the way I wanted to. But you know, I was uploading videos. I uploaded about 16 videos in March across all 4 of those different games. But then I hit a wall. In April, I only uploaded 3 videos. May would only see 1 video. And then in July, I didn't do anything in June. In July, I attempted to stream, even though I hadn't been putting any content on my channel. So I figured, let me try the streaming, because I've been wanting to try my, you know, getting the Twitch stuff all set up and with my Elgato, and I had tried to stream some stuff in the past and it never really worked the way I wanted it to. But I was doing a lot of research and information, feeling guilty that I had been uploading on my channel, and I did a No Mercy stream, and I was like, no one's gonna watch this because I haven't been doing this in so long. And I had like, you know, 10 or 12 people on my No Mercy stream, people who were watching my videos from beforehand, who were asking me, hey, when are you gonna do these videos again? Where you been? What's going on? Why are you taking so long to do another video? And that's when I started to see, like, oh wow, people actually have been watching this stuff, because no one was really commenting too much in the beginning. I had a few people here and there, and it was very cool. But when I did that No Mercy stream, and all of a sudden all these people were like, oh, there you are, where have you been? I was like, whoa, this is nuts. And I originally, when I was doing the stream, I was doing the Taz, because I was trying to see if I could do the all 100 eliminations in survival mode, because I never did it before and I wanted to do it. And I only ever got like to like 97, 98. I never really ever got the full 100 in my lifetime playing No Mercy. I still want to do it. But when I saw that people were interested, I was like, I gotta get back to working this channel. So in the summer, my work hours become a little bit more flexible. So I created another schedule for myself, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna upload a video every week. Every week I'm gonna upload a video, and you know, I started with the IC Championship, WWF No Mercy IC Championship, and my goal was to go through the week, every week, upload a new video, and I did it for pretty much the whole summer, from July to August. I did it, but I only ended up uploading like 9 Let's Plays and a few other videos, because there was such a distance and gap between the uploads. I felt like, oh, this once a week thing, I'm gonna have to reformat it, retool it. But then I got distracted again, and you know, I started not focusing on my channel. I started playing other video games. You know, I wanted the best of both worlds. I wanted to be able to do this channel, play other video games, and that took me, you know, away from the channel again. And I remember at the beginning of the year, I was like, you know, I really wanted to hit 250 subscribers to this channel, and the fall comes around, and I went another 2 months after the summer not doing anything. But I saw my subscriber count was getting kind of close. It was getting close to 200, and I was like, you know what? Let me focus. Let me get back into this. And in November, I started uploading videos. No schedule, just uploading whenever I can, and I ended up reaching 250 subscribers on December 11th, and by the end of the year, I had 280 subscribers. At this time, I started doing my classic matches, you know, just gameplay matches. I started doing 2K16 videos, because that was also on sale again at the end of the year. And I even started doing some CAW videos, another goal of mine for this channel. And I was so excited that I was gonna hit 250, and again I was like overwhelmed with this sense of, oh, I gotta work on this channel. I've been on and off all year. You know, I spent all this money on this capture card, spent all this money on this mic. You know, I got the mic as a gift from my wife because she supported me so much through this all. And I was like, I'm gonna do it every day. I'm gonna upload a video every day. And I started creating a backlog of content. I started working really hard, creating a backlog. And for all of, like, almost all of December and then all of January, I was able to upload a video every day. I didn't do a Let's Play every day, but to kind of like, bend my rules, I was just uploading matches and stuff like that. But at least I was putting something up every day. You know, even if it was like a 5-minute match, 12-minute match, and then I would, bookend it with a Let's Play, from one of the games. And I was really moving along. I was starting and stopping a lot in the summer. I started the IC Championship, but then I cooled down on it, so I started it up again. I started the G1 Climax series in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. I cooled down on it. I didn't do the third and final part until like the end of the year, months after the G1 Climax was over. And I felt so good, and I was like, 2016, man, this is gonna be the year. I'm gonna hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm on great momentum right now. This is it. This is gonna be the year. And then once January ended, I had all that backlog of videos done, so I had plenty of time to be working on stuff so that I could create a backlog for February and March, and just kind of just sit and relax. And I didn't do anything. And I can't really tell you why. I don't know why. And I struggled with it. I just sat and I was like, I'm enjoying what I'm doing with my channel. I'm having fun, but why is it when I get home, I want to play another game? I want to just, watch a movie. I don't know if I would say I was burnt out. I just, like, I guess, I don't know. I felt kind of scared. I'm not, if I was to be honest, this is something I really want to do. I really want to, like, say, get to a point where I can see what a lot of these YouTubers are doing, like quit my job and work full time. And, this is my creative outlet, and I have no one to blame for myself that if I'm not doing it. So when I finally actually started doing it, it was kind of scary because now you're in complete control. Now you're in complete control of what you're doing. You have no one to complain and bitch about that's holding you back. So when you start to hold your own self back, it's like, man, was I the problem all along? Was I the reason why I wasn't getting things done in my other areas of my life creatively? Because I got no one to, no one can call me out on anything here for what I'm, doing wrong. If I wanted to believe like all my work is perfect, I could believe it. But if I, don't put in the work and put in the effort, it's not going to get to where I want it to be. And I have no one to blame for that but myself, you know what I mean? So I think that's what I was struggling with. I also knew I kind of wanted to do different things for my channel, and again, I started getting into my head, oh, but it's never going to be good enough. That's going to take a lot of work, that's going to take a lot of time. Oh, but I don't want to miss several months. And so while all this time I'm just going back and forth in my head and being very, what's the word? I'm just not working on my channel and just, having these inner conversations with myself and beating myself up for like, oh, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm not gonna do it right. I'm wasting all this time and I'm not putting up any content. So I kind of lost that, like, that fearlessness I had in the very beginning where I was like, screw it, whatever, I'll just put it up, put myself out there, no big deal. But now that I had actually reached some level of success, I hit my goal. I surpassed it, and it's like, oh crap. Oh my goodness, I can actually do this. And that's a scary thing. It really is. When you're an artist, when you're someone who's creative, when you're good at something, or at least you could achieve your goals, and you did it all by yourself, for some reason you get scared of that. For some reason that holds you back. And that's what I was struggling with at the beginning of this year. And that's why I hadn't really done anything until a few weeks ago, because once again, I started seeing like, holy crap, I'm going to hit 500 soon. Like, I was close to 400, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything. And my channel went from 280 to 400 in a couple of months with like no content. So I was like, I saw that as a sign. It's like, you have to do this now. Like, you've said you wanted to do this, you've talked about doing this, you say how no one else is doing this. So, Jose, BeBetterGamer, put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? Like, actually go and do it. So I'm back. I'm doing it, and I've hit 500 subscribers, and I'm not gonna stop after this. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna come home and play Smash Brothers unless my work is done. You know what I mean? I'm gonna treat this as much as I enjoy doing this. I'm gonna treat this like work I care very seriously about. It's fun every time I do it. So I don't, it's not like I feel tired going into it, but as soon as I start recording, as soon as I work on the video, I get a little bit of energy off of it. And then when I'm done, it's like, all right, I want to go to bed now. You know what I mean? But like, it's something I enjoy. It's something I'm passionate about. And I got a lot of goals for this channel. I want to do more CAW videos because a lot of people really love that. And again, I feel like I'm filling a void, and people are really responding really well to my CAWs. And when I was a kid, I had memory cards full of CAWs. So this is, it's easy for me to do that. And actually, my CAW videos take as long as doing as my Let's Plays, sometimes longer. Because I put a lot of research into them, man. I really go in depth with the moves and what moves everyone should get. I want to do more commentary, but like on the historic matches. I want to create shorter videos. The Let's Plays, I love the Let's Plays, but they take a lot of time. They take a lot of research, and I don't want to every night have to record an hour episode of something. So I'm trying to find a lot of ways to create shorter videos. I started just uploading regular matches, but I think I should go and actually talk about those matches, why I want to upload it, why I think they're special, if they were my favorite matches, this and that. I want to do dream matches and fantasy matches of the different games. Take different wrestlers that have never wrestled before and talk about that. Will we ever see it? Is it too late? Because so-and-so has retired or so-and-so has passed away. I'm going to do more Let's Plays of the other Aki wrestling games. Where's the WrestleMania 2000 videos? Has been like the #1 question I've had since starting this channel. Where's WCW NWO World Tour, the very first Aki game I ever played? And I've never played Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, and I would love to say that I just recently bought an excellent copy off of eBay. So all three of those games, you're gonna see videos at some point this year. I don't know when, but at some point this year, I'm gonna start doing those games as well. I also want to branch out eventually. A year or two down the line, I want to branch out to other wrestling games. You got the Fire Pro Wrestling series I was a big fan of growing up. You got the bunch of the GameCube games that I all missed that people say are sort of similar to No Mercy. The Day of Reckoning series, the WrestleMania series. I want to talk about more current events in wrestling. Not just with the Aki games, but with the 2K games. 2K17 is going to be stacked. That roster is going to be amazing. And I want to talk about all those guys who I've enjoyed watching over the years. And like, they're all in WWE now, and it's mind-blowing. So I want to talk about that. I want to do top 10 videos, but like, not video. I don't want to like do, top 10 videos like my favorite wrestlers in No Mercy, my favorite wrestlers to play as. Not like the best or anything, but just, my own personal favorites. I want to put that out there. I don't want to miss a month of content anymore. I don't want to miss 2 months of content. That's another goal. I just don't want to miss a full month. At least one episode a week. Sticking to some sort of schedule. I want to finish the Hardcore Championship by the end of the summer. That's another goal. Maybe the tag team, if I'm lucky, before the end of the year. I want to do some tutorial videos. A lot of people always ask me, how are you playing Virtual Pro Wrestling 2? Is it in English? It's no. I edit the names, but a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't want to do what I did and go on Game Facts and print out the facts and put it in a binder and then have it sitting next to you when you're playing the game. That's how I did it, and that's how I memorized it. But a lot of people, they want it explained a little easier to them. They want quick videos with tutorials of secrets. A lot of people still ask, how do you dive out the ring? How do you do that? You can't really find these manuals, these in-game manuals very easily these days. Again, what I talked about in the beginning, there's not a whole lot of information about these games. I want to talk about the differences between the games and how it evolved over the years. I want to do the subscriber calls, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I got a top secret WCW NWO revenge project that I don't want to tell you about that I want to do. But I'm going to tell you about that it's secret, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want to update all the thumbnails on my channel. There's a lot here that I want to do, and if I'm not doing it little by little, I'm never going to do any of it. So I don't want to do all this stuff in 1 year. I don't want to do all this stuff in 1 month, but I want to do it eventually. And, you know, 500 subscribers could be the most I ever reach. No, not really, but like, you know, I could reach 1,000 subscribers, 1,500. It could take me a year to reach 1,000. It could take me 2 years to reach 1,500. I don't know how fast my channel is gonna grow, but if I'm not working on content, then what's the point? You know, who cares how fast my channel is growing or how slow it's growing? The point is that I'm reaching out to people who have interest in these games, and I'm showing my love for these games, and they're giving that love right back for me, and that's really what it's about. You know, I only had a few people growing up to play these games, and I feel like since doing this channel, I've been able to share that passion that I had as a kid with everyone now, and I think that's great. You know, I think that's great that I'm finally able to do that. These games meant a whole lot to me. You know, video games mean a whole lot to me. Wrestling means a whole lot to me. I'm very passionate about those subjects, and I consider them a very big part of my life and help define who I am. So to be able to share that, I want to keep doing that. But if I'm sitting at home and I'm playing games by myself and I'm not sharing that, like, what's the point? That's not enough anymore. That was fine growing up, you know, if I had a few friends come over or whatever, but I feel like nowadays, like, I've put in so much time and effort into video games that I need to show something for it. You know what I mean? I need to show, like, yep, this is the reason why I played No Mercy for thousands and thousands of hours, because years later, I created the #1 WWF No Mercy YouTube channel. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to do. So that's pretty much it. You know, we're winding down to the end of this. Real quick, I want to talk about some fun facts about my channel. So my five most viewed Let's Plays: Shawn Michaels European Championship, Roman Reigns CAW/Royal Rumble review, which I think is interesting, China's Intercontinental Let's Play, which I did almost a year before she passed. Another one of my personal favorite videos that I did, even before she sadly passed away this year. WWE 2K16 Royal Rumble 2015 predictions, where I boldly predicted Brock Lesnar was going to win, and he didn't. He still should have, in my opinion. And then WWF No Mercy, my WrestleMania 2000 Memories Let's Play. And that's probably because it has the words WrestleMania 2000 in it, and everyone wants to see WrestleMania 2000 videos. So my 5 most viewed non-Let's Plays, everyone really loves the Sting World Heavyweight video. That's my #1 viewed video on the channel. The Outsiders Tag Team Championship run in WCW NW Revenge is my #2 most viewed non-Let's Play. It's the only Tag Team Championship run I have on the entire channel. I'm looking to change that this year. Undertaker vs. Kane Survivor Series, my WrestleMania 2000 upload. Okay, I do have a few WrestleMania 2000, but they're just matches, and it happens to be my #3 most viewed non-Let's Play. My Rey Mysterio Cruiserweight Championship, that's good to hear, because I love me some Rey Mysterio Jr., so I'm glad people love it too. And then my Big Show CAW, which again, a lot of people like my CAWs, so I only have a few of them right now, so I want to put a lot more. So yeah, it's a lot of exciting stuff. A lot of exciting stuff is going on, and tonight there is a new light heavyweight champion, and it's BeBetterGamer. And this is definitely the start. This is only the start. The journey starts here. There he is. There he is coming out. 500 subscribers, only the beginning, not the end. I won't stop. I can't stop now. This is it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you are one of the many 500 that have subscribed, and if not, hey, you know what to do. You've been on YouTube before. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're looking forward to coming for the rest of the year. And as always, I'm BeBetterGamer. Keep watching all the wrestling.